Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta What Ifs. Today I am back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Had Multiple Kekkai Genkais. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted movie. Now before continuing this, shout out is due, it is due. Shout out to Jimmy De Setais for suggesting this idea. Now before continuing this, I know I'm not regular, I'm sorry about that. It's just that yeah, some personal stuff going on in my life, and yeah, it might take some time. Once the things have been settled and everything is back to normal, I will be able to upload regularly. And talking about my channel Apollo Chia, I will also upload regularly there. It's just that, as I told you, some things are going on. And not to mention, my internet is still causing me issues. Yeah, I'm pissed about that. And if it isn't fixed, I'm gonna replace it. I am currently looking for an internet provider as well. Someone that is good actually, because this is my second internet provider that I'm going to change soon, hopefully. And yeah, moving onwards, if you're new here, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you're OG, just tell them how to suggest their ideas in the comment section as well. And don't worry, I will be making most of your ideas. I know I said that a lot of time, I will. It's just that I'm doing some of my own research. I started to watch One Piece. I know it's kind of torture for me, but yeah, I'm gonna pull through, hopefully. At least up to 200 or 300 episodes at least. Anyways, enough said. If you have any suggestions, just leave it in the comment section. And as for the unscripted series, if you have watched the part 1, do let me know what you guys think should be added in the part 2. And yeah, according to your suggestions, I might do some changes. And enough of my yip yapping. Now finally, go and enjoy the movie. Bye guys. Our story begins 8 years after the QB attack in Konoha Gakure no Sato in the Elemental Nations, as we go towards the said village in nighttime to see that the streets were quiet and silent, except for one alleyway where the screams of a child could be heard. As we go there to see, a huge mob was gathered there, with many sharp utensils in their hands, and amongst these mobs were those who have disguised themselves as civilians, but they were in fact the shinobi of the said village. And they all looked enraged, and the target of their rage was 8-year-old resident orphan of the said village, Naruto Uzumaki, who was currently laying down on the ground in the pool of his own blood. As the leader of the said mob then got up, as he was an Anbu who was covered in blood, as he dropped the kunai to the ground and spat on now the unconscious boy that was in front of him. As that is when we see the mob began to cheer as they saw the lifeless form of the boy, thinking that they might have finally ended him. But in reality, the boy wasn't dead, as soon all of their cheers died down as an orange chakra appeared surrounding the boy's body. All of them were now disgusted by this, as their rage came back with full force. "Damn it, the brat is still alive! What are we gonna do now?" said one of the civilians, as the leader then said, "Nothing. We're done for the day." I guess the demon lives another day for us to torture him and finally get revenge for what he has done. But fear not, my people. We will finish what the fourth Hokage has started. Even if the third doesn't see it, we will finish the fourth's job, as he has left the demon in this weakened human form for us to finish. As everyone cheered, and thinking that the demon has had enough for the day, they all left. As now we see the mob dispersed, as the leader Anbu then went towards the direction of the Hokage office, where we see he entered the Hokage office, and as soon as the door was closed, with a puff of smoke the Henji dropped, and it was replaced by a white-robed wearing man who was old, as this was none other than Hiruzen Sarutobi himself, who has been the leader of the said mob who was torturing the 8-year-old. As now we see an Anbu appear next to him. "What is it? I told you when I am busy on my outing, and once I return from it, I do not wish to be seen by anyone. Hokage-sama, it's about the kid. I am aware of what has happened. Let him stay there for the night. It is his punishment after all. Take him there after you discover him by the morning." We see it, Hokage-sama. As after that the Anbu disappeared, as Hiruzen went and sat down on his chair with a satisfied smirk on his face. He felt at ease and peace, knowing that he was able to get some sort of revenge out of that damn bastard brat that Minato left on him. As now we see a flashback. Flashback to the night when Minato and Kushina, alongside his beloved Biwako, died. It was supposed to be a peaceful night, and everything went down to hell when the Kyuubi no Yoko, because of some complications, appeared and began to cause havoc and destruction. As Minato and Kushina appeared at the battlefield with a child that looked like theirs, but Kushina and Minato were able to use the Hakai Fuyin to summon the Shinigami and seal the Biju within him. And before Kushina could die, she left a few words. That child is a mon. And before she could finish, she perished. And Hiruzen was able to conclude that what she was trying to say actually was, that child is a monster. Meaning that the child that was born that day has died. His soul is replaced by the Kyuubis. And he's nothing more than a demon spawn in human skin. The skin of the child of the fourth Hokage. The one that caused a lot of loss and sadness amongst the village of his. As now we see, back in the present, Hiruzen clenching his fist as he saw the image of his successor who had perished alongside his beloved wife who has perished as well that night. I promise you, Minato, Kushina, Biwako-chan, I will get your revenge and Naruto's revenge. But he has to suffer. He will continue to suffer before I end him. As now we see, back in the alleyway, the orange chakra finally subsided as the 8-year-old got up. His blue eyes were hollow as he began to walk back to his home, and as soon as he entered his apartment, there was nothing but silence before he sighed. Ah, damn it, that old bastard did really a number on me today. What do you think, Kurama? Jeez, kid. You were this close to dying. If it wasn't for one of your Kekkai Genkais, you would have died today. Yeah, who would have thought that Kami would bless me and curse me at the same time? Well, yes. That is correct. You are both blessed and cursed, kid. Blessed with the most strongest and abnormal Kekkai Genkais I have ever seen, or heck, the whole world has seen, and yet cursed because everyone surrounding you thinks you are me, and they hate you for that. I don't care about them. All I need to do is stay here for the time being, and master these abilities much more. I'm still not strong enough, and I haven't mastered everything yet. So what did you learn today? I was able to copy most of the shinobis that were there, their jutsus, and copy most of their strength abilities. Good. Your boost Kekkai Genkai and your copy jutsu Kekkai Genkai will help you train. But tomorrow Hiruzen will visit you, and he will get suspicious that how did you get back, and the next time the attack will be much more heavier and life-threatening. Yeah, and my heal and cure Kekkai Genkai will be able to deal with that, said Naruto sarcastically. As now we see Naruto went towards his bed and laid down there. As instead of sleeping, he began to meditate, to practice in his mindscape, where he in front of Kurama and his Kage began to practice the techniques that he has copied while he was being attacked by the shinobis that were disguising themselves poorly amongst the civilians. As now we see Kurama's flashback of how he and the kid became one. As soon as the boy was born and he was sealed within, Hiruzen showed his true colors, and Kurama at the time, being conscious and aware of the situation, was able to take control of Naruto's eyes and ears so he could listen in and get aware of the situation, and he was downright disgusted, even more and beyond than he has ever been, by these Ninkans. This boy was just born today, and he didn't hated him for anything. Why? Because he was innocent in Kurama's eyes. He hasn't done anything. He was pure. It was his parents who had paid their price and were killed. And as for these people, yes, they needed to pay. But what they were about to do? Oh hell, if he could, he would break out the seal and finish what he had started that day on his own, as they were claiming what they would finish him. And as the time went by, Kurama for the time being began to monitor, as the boy was being sabotaged from the beginning. Even in rations while he was dropped off in the orphanage, he was treated poorly, and once he reached at the age of 3, barely able to walk on his own, he was kicked out. He was beaten badly after that by multiple clans as well as multiple people at multiple times. The dangers of them all were the days when the 10th of October came. It was only one family at the time there who would even give a damn about the boy, and that was the Ichiraku ramen shop. But even they, one day, were killed because of showing kindness to a demon, and no one was there to save them. Both Ayame and Tenoichi were killed, and even before they died, they comforted Naruto, saying that it wasn't his fault, and these all are idiots. As Naruto was traumatized that day, and at that moment when he saw that the boy's soul was shattered and his power that was hidden within him, the Kekkai Genkais that were never seen or heard before, were released. Because after a brutal beatdown, the boy was thrown into the forest of death, where Kurama was shocked that a chakra similar to him surrounded the boy's body and began to heal each and every part of the body, and one of the boy's arm, which was torn apart from his body, began to grow, as he was shocked that the Kekkai Genkai was strong enough to even build limbs on his own, while healing all the injuries, and the boy was back on his feet within a few moments, much to his shock. And at that moment, he decided that he needs to take care of this boy, because if he lets this boy be alone, there might be a high chance that next time he won't be able to survive, even with all these Kekkai Genkais that he had. And fast forward to the present. For many years, Kurama has been his guide and has been trying his best to guide the boy. As now we see, while Naruto trained in the mindscape, Kurama closed his eyes, as in his dream he met with his father, Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the sage of the sixth path. "Father, what are you doing here?" His father didn't say anything in his dream. All he did was cry. Cry, and that is when Kurama could see what his eyes were reflecting, and that was the image of Naruto. And at that moment Kurama understood something, and that was that Naruto was important. If his father in his dream came to him as a vision, and his eyes reflected Naruto with pain and grievance, that meant that the boy was the one that his father talked about before he passed away, meaning he was the one who was supposed to be the savior, and his father has been hurt. Kurama deduced at least that how he has been treated by the people, and how it may affect Naruto's, output regarding the world. As that is when we see the next morning came as Kurama's eyes opened, to see that Naruto was already making his own breakfast that he was able to steal while no one was looking. Thanks to some of the, Anbus always on guard of him, Naruto has been able to copy some of the abilities from them thanks to his copy skill Kekkai Genkai, and that was the stealth technique, and as well as the clone, which was the shadow clone, which was much more advanced than any other clone technique as well. And with this way, Naruto could be at multiple places at multiple times. Naruto still had many other jutsus under his arsenal, but he was copying them as best as he could. He has also copied Might Guy's training regime and has been training his physical body so that he would be able to protect himself, but so far he has already started. The down effect of this Kekkai Genkai was that it allowed him to copy techniques, yes, but it took a lot of time and effort for them to completely be his, because all he got was the instructions of how to do things. He basically had to train his body to be able to hold on to those techniques and be able to, go toe to toe when he was performing those techniques. As now we see, Kurama then spoke. "Kid, what is it, Kurama? Say, what do you say if we leave this village? This village has done nothing more than hurt you and harm you, right?" "Yes, it has, but have you forgotten the masked person that you told me about? The one that put you in the genjutsu?" "Yeah, I am aware that he is still somewhere out there," said Kurama with a growl, "but staying here is dangerous for you." "Ah, is the big bad old fox is worried about me?" "Nonsense, I am not." "To some extent I am, I agree, but still. Staying here is suicide, and that is what I want. I want to stay here, and I want to find out more secrets and techniques before I leave. Because you have told me that the fourth Hokage had to go head to head, and even then he was barely able to hold on his own." "You're right. But how long are you going to stay here, Naruto? Because any more and you might someday actually die." "I'm not gonna die so easily, Kurama. And even if I do, you are still here to finish the job. Or have you forgotten? Right, brat. Leaving your and mine revenge on me. Good, just what I need. Another baggage of hatred. As after that we see Naruto heard a knock on the door. And at the door, it was none other than Hiruzen. Great, here comes the bastard. Alright, I gotta put up the act, Kurama. As soon as Naruto opened the door, there was a smile on his face. Gigi, you're here. Ah, my boy. How have you been? I have been fine. Why do you ask? Well, I heard that you were injured last night. Oh, was I? Said Naruto, as Hiruzen looked at him. You're not aware? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I was taking a stroll in the village then. I don't know, maybe I got tired and went home. Because I woke up on my bed, didn't I? And I don't have any wounds. As Hiruzen inwardly tsked, because he knew what has happened. That is good to hear, my boy. Was I injured or hurt? Said Naruto. No, not at all, Naruto. Say, Naruto, do you wish to be a shinobi one day? Yes, I want to be the Hokage of this village, said Naruto with a boastful smile and his cheeky grin. So you want to be the Hokage, said Hiruzen, but inwardly he was disgusted by the thought. Then how about I put you into the Shinobi Academy? You can finally begin your shinobi career. Really? Yes, my boy. You're already at the age where one can begin training, and you can soon become a shinobi too. Awesome. When can I begin? How about we go there? As now we see, Hiruzen purposely put Naruto in the class where the other clan head kids were, because there they were already trained beforehand and were much more advanced than Naruto. And not only that, it was an advanced class, a prodigious one at that Iruka Umino was teaching, and he was instructed precisely by Hiruzen to purposefully, mistreat Naruto as well as sabotage him as best as they could. And that is for the upcoming years they tried to did. But Naruto, even after being kicked out multiple times, doing things wrong, on his own thanks to his shadow clones technique that he has copied, was able to learn a lot more as well as train on his own. And thanks to his Kekkai Genkais, he was getting much more stronger and stronger. And not only that, there was an event known as the Uchiha Massacre, in which Itachi Uchiha massacred all of his clan except for his brother, Sasuke. Naruto was there that night, and was able to catch the glimpse of the mighty Sharingan of Itachi Uchiha. Thanks to his copy Kekkai Genkai, he was able to copy that. And now, all he had to do was go through the same stress and trauma of an Uchiha to unlock it and use it without any trouble that a similar Uchiha has to go through. Naruto thankfully had gone variously through the same trauma, and in the future he had to go through as well. Like he was on his 9th birthday after the Uchiha Massacre was beaten as well, saying that he was the cause of this, that Itachi gone rogue and all of this. Naruto obviously had to laugh at the irony that they still blamed him for something that was in front of their eyes, even with the evidence that Itachi Uchiha was the one who killed the Uchiha clan, and yet they blamed him. Which was quite stupid in his opinion, but oh well, whatever floats their boat. All that mattered to him was to get enough trauma to unlock the Sharingan. And thanks to the people stabbing and hating on him, he was able to do what he wished. A Sharingan was unlocked. And soon, Naruto began his training with those eyes. At first he wasn't able to get how they worked, but soon Naruto was able to understand the concept. And thanks to him sneaking into the Uchiha library, which was left unattended thanks to Sasuke being moved to the center part of the village now, since he was the only lone surviving Uchiha member, Naruto was able to get by there and train and take multiple jutsus for himself, as well as Uchiha's interceptor style, so that he could train and use it in his own training style that he was building by combining multiple fighting styles that he has copied over the course of years through his Kekkai Genkai. As years began to pass by, Naruto was soon recognized as a prodigy in the academy, something that both Council, Hiruzen, and the whole village hated. And the worst thing was, no matter how hard they tried to hate on the boy and tried to sabotage him, somehow he was able to get back on his feet and surprise them even more, as he was now the rookie of the year by their standard. And obviously thanks to the sabotaging, they would place him as an average student because they didn't want him to be boastful, especially Hiruzen. As now we see, before the final exams, Iruka and Mizuki were both called into the Hokage office. What the hell are you doing, Iruka? Mizuki, I have given you specific instructions that you are to make sure the boy's training is sabotaged, and yet he's doing good. Almost a perfect shinobi. Do you want me to kill you for teaching him behind my back? No, Hokage-sama. Believe us when we say this. We haven't done anything. The boy must have done something on his own. Yes, he must have stolen the jutsus, Hokage-sama, said Mizuki. That could be correct. There is no other way. I know for sure that you two hate him because what he has done. And I know for sure that you wouldn't betray me. Then how did that boy found such knowledge? It is suspicious. It could be the Kyuubi. I mean, it's finally showing its true colors, is it not? You could be right. Kushina was the previous Jinchuriki and she was the strongest Konoichi after Tsunade in the whole elemental nations. Maybe because of that, the Kyuubi has gained some of her knowledge because it was bound to her soul. And now, said Hiruzen with narrowed eyes, that knowledge is being used by him in the boy's body. What are we gonna do, Hokage-sama? There's nothing we can do. We have to continue this. Why? But why, Hokage-sama? You told us that we will be able to kill him once and for all when the time is right. Unfortunately, time is not by our side at the moment. What do you mean by that? My students, they are getting suspicious, especially Jiraiya. Jiraiya-sama? But you told us that he... I told you that he wasn't aware. I remember. You don't have to repeat everything, Iruka, said Hiruzen, slamming his fist on the table that was cracked as both of the shinobis flinched. I'm sorry, said Hiruzen with a sigh. I am frustrated at the moment, as you can see and tell. Hiruzen then remembered how he lied to both Tsunade and Jiraiya separately. As Tsunade was told that Naruto, her godchild from Kushina's side, was already dead at birth, and as for Jiraiya, who himself came and checked the seal, he was promised that he would take care of Naruto, and everyone will treat him rightly. And the letters that Hiruzen has sent to Jiraiya has been, happy to hear that that boy was being raised right, which was basically a lie. And in the recent letters, Jiraiya has been asking for pictures to see how the boy was growing. And obviously Hiruzen couldn't show that because the boy had scars. At least some of them. The wounds that couldn't be completely healed, even by his, Kekkai Genkai. They could heal the wounds, but the scar, some of them that were much more deeper and gruesome, would have remained. They couldn't send them. So, that is why Jiraiya had been getting suspicious. And now a letter has came, telling him that he would be arriving at the village sooner, within a month or so. And that is why Hiruzen was desperate, because he knew now that he couldn't do anything. Not even a single finger could have been laid on Naruto. Because if Jiraiya finds this out, all hell will break loose. Because to Jiraiya, that boy is closest thing to a family and a son, or maybe a grandson. Same could be said for Tsunade. Hiruzen knew that he has already dug his grave, and didn't think this through properly. And that is why he hated it. He sometimes hated himself for not going towards Danzo and listening to his plan, because he was quite wary of him as well, thinking that Danzo might try to take the boy from him and use him as his weapon to overthrow him, which he was fearful of as well. As on the other side, we see Naruto, surprisingly, one of his clone was listening into this conversation while being hidden completely, masking his chakra. After their meeting was done, we see the clone poofed away as Naruto, back in his class, opened his eyes with a smirk. So this is their plan. Jiraiya and Tsunade, my godparents, finally returning. This ought to be fun. As now we see Naruto smirked because he knew now he had the upper hand for some months. As Naruto would have suggested, the training continued, and the academy did as well. And surprisingly, the village has grown peaceful within these months. No attacks on him have been made so far. And the graduation came. Naruto obviously was able to graduate and even surpass the Rookie of the Year marks. Sasuke, obviously on a high horse and pedestal by the whole village, was quite angry at this, saying that and demanding that Naruto has cheated and he needs to be punished. But Iruka, as much as he wanted, couldn't do that. Why? Because of the orders of the Hokage. As now we see Naruto taking his headman left. As at that moment, as he was about to leave, he saw Mizuki telling one of the civilian children who has failed and was in his class how to pass and about this test. Obviously the child did as he was told. Naruto followed the child, seeing that he has taken an important scroll from the Hokage office without him being noticing, and was about to meet, obviously, with Mizuki. Naruto followed the boy, and as soon as he arrived at the location where the boy needed to be, Naruto knocked him out, taking the scroll and vanishing from there. As now the blame would be on the boy, not on Naruto. Naruto went somewhere far, a safe house that he has built deep within the forest of death, that was masked with chakra and fuinjutsu so that it could be kept hidden, which he has learned from the books that he has stolen over the time being, thanks to his clones and stealth. As entering inside it, Naruto opened the scroll and was able to find a lot of techniques that he could master, such as the flying Raijin technique of his father, as well as the second Hokage, and the Rasengan, and also the sacred summoning of the Uzumakis. Now this piqued Naruto's interest because that was a summoning of a dragon, and dragons usually choose one summoner every 100 years, and last one was Mito Uzumaki, which was basically 100 years or so ago. As now we see that Naruto knew that he could use this to his advantage, so he began to copy each and every jutsu written down on there, even the Hakai Fuin and a lot of forbidden jutsus, and after copying them to a scroll, he placed the original scroll back to where the boy was and burned it as well. As Mizuki soon after that was captured because Naruto made him look like the one in front of the Anbus that arrived there at the moment to see that he was the one burning the scroll and hurting the kid. And soon Mizuki was the one executed because of treason. As now we see, Naruto was smirking while the whole village was shaken up because they have just lost a national treasure, and that was the scroll of sealing that held many dangerous and sacred jutsus from the beginning of their village. As now we go towards the council chamber where we see the elders and everyone else fighting amongst one another. As Hiruzen said, "Enough! You're not all children who are fighting amongst one another. I know we have lost something valuable." "Hiruzen, we don't have lost something valuable. We lost our treasure. The scroll of sealing was given to us by the predecessors of the Hokage. Even our sensei's jutsu was written within it. And have you forgotten the sacred summoning of the dragon that we could have used?" As Hiruzen rubbed his temple, "I know, Danzo. I know everything that was written within. Hashirama-sama's techniques, Tobirama-sama's techniques, and even my techniques as well as Ninato's. Everything is lost. I know about that. We could have made any copy. The scroll was never meant to leave that place. I don't know how Mizuki was able to know where the scroll was placed." "Someone leaked the information?" said Koharu. "Obviously, Koharu, someone did. We need to find out who. But what are we gonna do about this loss? If the people find out that we don't have the scroll anymore, what can we do? Because that scroll was our last line of defense. They will never find out. And like before, Konoha will trample them, as always." As now we see, the council was arrogant and were able to listen to Hiruzen's word and were able to calm down. As now we see on the other side, Naruto's clones poofed away while he was hidden within the forest of death. As he smirked, "Bastards. So this is their plan, huh? Act arrogant and keep it hidden on a hush-hush. Well, let's see how far you can keep it hidden. Then who might this be who leaked this information? That is something I need to be aware of. What do you think, Kurama?" From what I am aware, the bastard had a student known as Snake. Aside from your godparents, he was the prodigy one, and he turned out to be the most evil bastard out there as well. I hate him the most after that masked person." "Seriously?" said Naruto, quite curious. "Is it Orochimaru?" "Of course, kid. Who else? The Snake Sanin. He is the one who might have been able to leak out this information, obviously." "You're right about that," said Naruto. "If he is the one, do you know where I can find him?" "Do not go near that bastard boy," said Kurama with a grumbling voice as Naruto was shaken because he hasn't seen Kurama this riled up. "Whoa, Kurama, calm down. That man is dangerous and is bad news. He couldn't be trusted by anyone. He had a great life here and yet he destroyed it just for the sake of power. What do you think he would do once he find out that he can use you as his pawn. I won't allow that to happen. I know you want to copy his techniques, but it is not worth it, kid. You have already gained enough strength, and I think we should leave this village. And go where exactly, Kurama? Tell me. For the time being, things have calmed down, and not only that, I have graduated. And tomorrow we will be placed in teams, and if I'm not there, they will get suspicious. And if I'm placed in the bingo book, they will send 100 names after me, because I have become an official shinobi. Damn it. You are right about that, brat. You can't leave now. And we're stuck here for the time being. Yes, I know that for sure. We are. But good news is that my godparents might be coming, or either one of them would be. And once they come and I make contact with them, we will leave. So you're waiting for them to be your one-way ticket out of this hellhole. Yes, exactly. And if that doesn't work, what then? I'll think of a plan. Then think, kid, because there is a need of a backup plan. Always has been and always will be. Yeah, you're right, old fox. As now we see, time passed as the next day came, as Iruka came and as canically pronounced all the teams where they will be placed. And so one by one each and every shinobi came and glared at Naruto while taking their team away. And finally, we see that Team 7 Sensei Kakashi Hatake came. And he also ignored Naruto and focused on the other two. Naruto, obviously now being used to this, didn't care, as he was aware that everyone hated him. So what's the difference that his own sensei does as well? As time began to pass by, the D-rank missions were done. Naruto did the most work, but the credit was taken by Sakura or either by Sasuke. And Sasuke was the one who was again cheered on the most, and he was the one who was called the useless, even though he did the most of the work. As Naruto would just be silent for the time being. Why? Because he knew when the time is right he will be able to leave, and it gives him an edge, making people think that the Uchiha is strong, and when the time is right he will crush the Uchiha in front of their eyes in such a gruesome way that the Uchiha won't be able to move an inch. And not to be wrong, he also had the Sharingan to surprise the Uchiha when the time is right. So, for the time being, he began to monitor Sasuke and Kakashi training secretly, and how he was teaching Sasuke the Sharingan. Why? Because he also had one from a dead Uchiha friend of his. Talk about a fake one. As time went on, they went on their first C-rank mission. As there, Naruto also copied the techniques of the Demon Brothers while also fighting and acting like his canon stupid self. And then they met with Zabuza Momochi and Haku. Naruto, seeing Haku, was able to copy his ice technique, Kekkai Genkai. And as for Zabuza, Naruto was able to copy his jutsus such as Water Prison Jutsu, Water Dragon Jutsu, and the Hidden Mist Jutsu. And also was able to copy his sword movements and was able to take his used sword after the bridge building arc was done, after he died. Taking his sword, Naruto placed it in a scroll that was hidden and took it with him. As soon as they returned, they were informed of the Chunin exams, as now we see Sasuke then say, "Listen to me, dope. We want these exams to be done 100%, and I want you to do not interfere, you hear me? You better be on your 100% behavior. Yes, your highness, I will be. Listen to him, you baka. And do what Sasuke-kun says." Of course, Banshee Princess. As after that, Naruto rolled his eyes and went back his home, being done with the two for the time being. As now we see, after arriving home, Naruto, for the first time, was pissed. Those two bastards. Oh, Kurama, I can't tell you how much I want to strangle their necks and break them like twigs, said Naruto, with such rage-filled eyes that his eyes morphed into Sharingan, and even then, they had slits in them, indicating that he was at pure burning rage. As that is when something interesting happened. Mokitan appeared. As from beneath his feet, a wooden log appeared in front of him. As Naruto's eyebrow rose, and so did Kurama. Brat, did you just use the Mokitan? Wait, did I? As now we see, Naruto went to the training field as soon as he discovered this, and tried again. And after failing multiple times, as he was about to give up, he tried once more, and he this time was successful. He was able to summon wooden spikes, as Naruto chuckled. And that is when he copied the technique from as a wooden dragon from the scroll of sealing that he has already copied and tried to do that. First, it didn't work that much great, and second time, it worked like a charm, and a wooden dragon appeared. As Naruto chuckled even more. This is amazing. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun, kid. The look of their surprise when they find out that you have the ability to summon a wooden dragon and use Mokitan. But Naruto wasn't aware of someone watching him, and that someone was Jiraiya himself, as Jiraiya vanished with a smirk on his face. As now we see in the Hokage office, Jiraiya appeared. Hey, Sensei. Ah, Jiraiya, you're back. You're back early. Yeah, I am. I heard that the Chunin exams were going to be near, so I thought I should return early and spend some time with my godchild. And hopefully able to teach him a thing or two. He can be the next generation Toad Sage of the village. Oh, yeah, that is perfect. Are you alright, Sensei? Said Jiraiya with a raised eyebrow, looking confused and more suspicious. Of course I am. It's just I'm just shocked. Are you reading my Ichaicha tactics? Said Jiraiya with a snooty smirk, as Hiruzen blushed. Yeah, I was. I mean, I wasn't. Alright, Jiraiya, enough teasing. So you're here to train the boy, right? Yes. Good. I will call for the boy. Don't worry, I've saw him training. Why didn't you tell me the boy had the Mokitan? Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Said Hiruzen with a shock. You didn't know? Asked Jiraiya with a confused expression. And of course I did. You didn't know it, Sensei. Huh. Talk about the boy keeping a secret already. Seems like the boy is learning how to use the wooden dragon jutsu. That is a B-level jutsu. How does the boy even use that? I mean, how in the hell does that boy, the demon, has the wooden style of my sensei? Oh shit. This makes things much more complex than before. That boy has just become much more valuable. If we have his offspring and that Kekkai Genkai is possible, then maybe, just maybe, then we can kill him off. You know what? That is some news, Jiraiya. I wasn't aware of this. I'm sorry about that. Maybe Naruto has kept this a secret from me. Or maybe he has unlocked it today. Who knows? But that is certainly some interesting abilities that he has. Yeah, that is Naruto for sure, said Hiruzen. As now we see. Hiruzen then asked the next question. What about Tsunade? Where is she? She didn't came? I went to visit her, but I couldn't find her. So I sent it in a letter saying that I was going to visit our godchild. What did she say? I think she changed her address. You know her, roaming around, still drowning in sorrows of the past, ghosts. Yeah, I wish she would have changed. Any news? Yeah, there is a war going on amongst the villages themselves. What do you mean by that? Other villages, Sensei. Beware of Suna. I think they might try to pull something. And not only that, there's this group known as Akatsuki. And they are onto something big. What big? My spies have been able to tell me that they are aiming and have been doing recons on the Jinchurigis of the different villages. What? Why? They're planning something, Sensei. Something that is from the myths and legends. I think they're planning to bring back the Ten Tails or something. Ten Tail is a myth, Jiraiya. Always have been. There's no way in hell that is possible. I mean, there are people who are strong believers, or fools you can say, who even make things possible. And remember, Sensei, you're the one who always taught us. Always look underneath the underneath, and always expect the unexpected in the shinobi world. You're right about that, Jiraiya. This isn't good. If that organization has the Ten Tails, what could be their goal? What would they want with that much power? That is what I'm worried about. You need to investigate this, Jiraiya. I will, Sensei, and I am. But for the time being, I need to see my godchild, and I'm gonna be off my way then. Hold on, Jiraiya. Why don't you rest for the time being? And in the meantime, I'll arrange a meeting between you and Naruto. I guess so. You're right. As now we see, Jiraiya left to rest somewhat in a hotel room in Konoha as Hiruzen sighed. But he wasn't aware that Naruto has been listening in to this, and he smirked even more. My oh my, how cunning of you, old man. Ten Tails, huh? An organization known as Akatsuki. Kurama, do you know about this? Ten Tails. It all makes sense. That attack all those years ago? Trying to take me and force me into doing things? What are you on about, Kurama? I know about the attack and everything, you being forced, but how is it connected? Think about it, kid. He wants all the Bijus together and one goal in mind, to revive the Ten Tails. Is it that much possible? I mean, is this even Ten Tails real? We are all a part of it. I was created from it. Do you think I would be joking about this? No, I'm sorry about this, Kurama. It's not your fault, kid. We cannot allow the Ten Tails to be revived. Whatever that organization's plan is, needs to be followed, and fast. I'm sorry, kid, but I have to ask. How long are you going to stay and play this game of yours? We have some serious things to need to take care of. That masked person is now our top priority. He needs to be stopped and killed. With our revenge in mind or not. Yeah, I guess you're right. We need to do something about that. As now we see time begin to pass by, as within a week Naruto and Jiraiya were able to meet up, and soon they hit it off as well, because Naruto knew he could trust Jiraiya, because even Kurama and his senses were telling him to. And soon Naruto was able to open up as well, as Jiraiya's suspicions was confirmed as the Chunin exams draw near, as he went to his sensei and asked and sat down with him and reminisced the old day and drank. As he then asked the question, Sensei, is there something about Naruto that you need to tell me? No, there isn't. Why you ask? Said Hiruzen, lying too straight to his face, as Jiraiya then said with a smile, oh, nothing. I just wanted to know how it was like growing up, that's all. You know? He was perfect. As now we see Jiraiya right back at his home and detoxed himself, as he sighed. Damn it, Sensei, what the hell have you done? You wanna know what he has done, Jiraiya? Said a voice as Jiraiya immediately turned back to see it was Naruto. Naruto? What are you doing here? I'll tell you everything, but you have to promise to listen to my side of the story before you make a conclusion. Alright, I will. As after that we cut to the scene of the Chunin exams. As the first part of the Chunin exams was, well, thanks to Sasuke, much more complex. The second part was where Naruto didn't even bother as they faced Orochimaru. Naruto let himself be pulverized while he copied his snake techniques and was on the sideline, while Sasuke got his Hiki mark from the Orochimaru, and Sakura got beaten to shit. As now we see the Team 7 limped back to the tower at the last day at the final moment. Both Sasuke and Sakura were exhausted, and Naruto acted like he was passed out and woke up as soon as he entered the tower. In reality, he was saving his strength and letting them take all the, well, heat, and wanted to prove to the villagers that he was indeed weak. But unknown to him, well, there were other plans by Hiruzen at the moment, who has done a council meeting and has come to a conclusion. As the preliminary rounds were about to begin, we see that Naruto was called forward. People of Konoha, I have a news to reveal to you that has been kept a secret. Naruto, who is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, as you all are aware, is also the child of the fourth Hokage, Minato no Mikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. And he is their legacy. As everyone gasped, and that is the time they understood that they were hating on their own savior's child. As Naruto's eyes narrowed, what the hell is that old man playing about? Revealing my heritage out of nowhere. I'm thinking that he wants to level things out. And maybe try to get people to your good side. I get it now, said Naruto with narrowed eyes and disgusted look on his face that he immediately hid. What is it? He wants to make sure that I have some bonds now, and I stay loyal to this village. He might have thought that I'm on a flight risk or something. Damn it, I let myself be jeopardized. As now we see the preliminary rounds ended after that, while Naruto was still in thoughts. He beat the shit out of Kiba in an immediate sweep at that moment using the Mokitan while Kiba was shit-talking him. As everyone was silenced at the moment, the boy could use Mokitan as well. As Naruto, shocking the whole crowd as well as the Kage who were there, went back to the stands where he was seated, as Sasuke was still looking at him with shock alongside with Kakashi, who was now feeling guilty of a sort. Naruto, said Kakashi after the training. What is it? Said Naruto with a serious and dull expression. As Kakashi was taken aback, I wanted to. I know who you are, Kakashi Hatake, student of my father. You alongside Rin Nohara and Obito Uchiha were. Both of them perished in the Third Great Shinobi War while you survived with a guilt that crushes you to this day. Naruto, how do you? I have researched on all of you. As that is when Naruto said, don't bother trying to make up for the mess that you have caused, Hatake. Or should I say Inu? As after that, we see Naruto left, leaving Kakashi in shocked-filled expression and horrified eyes, because he realized Naruto was aware. As immediately the behavior of the villagers took 180-degree turn towards Naruto, but Naruto was back in his home and was punching the wall. Damn it! Damn it to hell! I let myself be jeopardized. But kid, why reveal your true colors now? No point in hiding. That old bastard revealed everything. So he might have been aware that I was aiming to leave. But how? It could have been Jiraiya. No, it couldn't have been. As now we see, 1 month passed, Naruto was not able to find Jiraiya anywhere. As when the final came, Naruto was able to beat the crap out of Gaara without him even being able to activate the, One Tails. As at that moment we see, Orochimaru, who has disguised himself as the Sand Kage, was quite shocked and impressed, but he at the same time saw his senses smirk and let things play out because he had a backup plan. That was Kabuto was ready and waiting for the signal. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, even if you are the Hokage's child, you'd think that I would allow you, and you being of an abomination, to live here? You are too dangerous for your own good. You could turn your back on Konoha any moment, and we do not wish for that to happen. And for that, as all of the Anbus of Konoha alongside the Konoichis and Shinobis jumped into the battlefield, you are need to be exterminated. Fine, but before that I need to ask one thing. What? You know, like a dying request. What is it? What happened to Jiraiya? Unfortunately, he needed to be taken care of. As that was all Naruto needed to be here, as Naruto then did something. Kurama? What is it, kid? Time to roll. As Naruto twisted the seal open, and huge burst of energy was revealed that was felt throughout the whole elemental nation. As the Shinobis and Konoichis were now planted into the ground, as they all sensed great immense power. As at that moment, Naruto, with a single sweep, was able to cut off all of their necks, as Naruto was just standing still there. As Hiruzen's eyes widened, because it was just a blink of an eye, and more than 800 Shinobis and Konoichis and Anbus combined were killed in an instant. The people were silent, still, stunned, as now we see Naruto's eyes were Mangekyo Sharingan that were pure. How dare you? As that is when Naruto thought of a bit and said, you know what? The enemy of an enemy of mine is a friend. Do what you came here to do. I won't bother you. Heck, I might even enjoy. As Orochimaru, seeing what Naruto was implying, smirked, and that is when the Konoha crush began. But this time Naruto sat down on the Hokage monument after finding where Jiraiya was. Luckily he was alive, but his body parts, some of them were cut off. He was turned into a cripple. But Naruto, thanks to his cure ability, was even able to use it thanks to the help of Kurama on Jiraiya. As Jiraiya was back on his feet immediately. What happened to you, Jiraiya? The night you revealed everything to me the month ago. Surprisingly, an Anbu was keeping an eye on me, and it got leaked. Damn it, so that is how he knew. Yes, Naruto. And turns out, when he tried to talk me into his way, I declined, and he saw that there was no other way for him to keep me alive as well as to keep me out of, troubling him, was this way. I still can't believe the man I looked up to as a father figure would do such a thing to me. World really is cruel, isn't it, Jiraiya? It kind of is, brat. I gotta give you that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Kind of tragic in my opinion, but well deserved. Yes, it is. As in front of Naruto and Jiraiya's eyes, the whole Konoha began to crumble at the hands of Orochimaru. Since most of the army and arsenal of Konoha was wiped out in an instant by Naruto, Konoha didn't have much at their arsenal anymore and were easily defeated by a minor village such as Otogakure, which was Orochimaru's. And even their Kage was killed. Not a single council member or clan member was left alive, and Sasuke Uchiha too was taken by Orochimaru as a winner prize. And as for Konoha, it was eradicated as the sun went down, so did Konoha did. As now we see, Naruto looked towards Jiraiya. As Jiraiya then asked, "What's your plan now, Naruto?" "The village is done for," said Naruto. "But the Akatsuki that you say is still out there, and their goal cannot be allowed to come to fruition." "Why is that?" "Remember the tale of Rabbit Goddess, the mother of the sage?" "Yeah. It is supposed to be a myth, right?" "No, it is not. The Nine Tails have revealed to me that." You talked to it?" "Yes. We are on good terms. He is the one who I have been allied with since this whole fiasco has begun." "I see. So what is your aim?" "We're gonna need to find Tsunade first, and after that, we're gonna take care of the Akatsuki." "Then what?" "Then let the world fall apart on its own, because to hell with the prophecy. I'm not gonna fulfill that." As Jiraiya's eyes widened. "Wait, you know about the..." "Kyuubi told me as well, that in his dream Sage visited him, and it reflected my image, indicating that I was the child of prophecy. And him showing tears meant that everything went down in hell." "So you're not going to..." "Yes, I'm not going to save this world because it is not worth saving, Jiraiya. But those people who wishes to be helped, I will help them. I wanted to take my revenge, but hey, at least I got to enjoy their screams of pain like they did to me, right? And I got the first row seat of their destruction and didn't even have to get my hands dirty." As Jiraiya then said, "You know that is evil, right, Naruto? What are you gonna do, Jiraiya? Stop me? And you know even that you can't." "I'm not gonna stop you, Naruto. I know what they have done to me as well. I at one point would have laid down my life for this village if they have asked for it, even given up my life. But seeing what they have done, seeing what my own sensei has done to me, even I kind of agree with you. To hell with this world. It is not meant to be saved. For years I've carried on this prophecy, thinking that your father might be the one. Some other kids might be the one. And even you. And now that I found it, the irony is I don't wish for it to be fulfilled. Because I know, once there might be peace in our era, the same thing will start all over again. Because where there is peace, shadow lurks of hatred. And once hatred grows strong enough, war will arise once more." "You're goddamn right about that, Jiraiya. So what do you say?" "I say we do it." As now we see Jiraiya and Naruto, walking from the ashes of Konoha, begin their journey to search for Tsunade. It took them 2 months, and they found her in Tanabata town. And after doing so, they were able to reside in Land of Waves village for the time being. A village that they saved long ago, not too long ago, before the Chunin exams. And thanks to Naruto being one of their saviors, the villagers allowed the three of them to be in. As now we see, Naruto and Jiraiya were able to locate the hideout of the Akatsuki, as they planned to leave while Tsunade remained here and train the others. As now we see, Tsunade then said, "I'm not gonna lose you two. I'm not gonna allow you to go there. We don't need to worry about anything, Bachan. Everything will be fine. If we find out that things are too much for us, here, keep this stripe around kunai. We'll hurry in here as fast as we can. You better promise not to get hurt, Naruto. You as well, Jiraiya." "We won't, Hime." "You bet your ass, Bachan, we won't." And with that, the two of them left with a cheeky grin. As now we see, when they arrived at Amegakure, all things went to hell, as they were suddenly ambushed by the Akatsuki. Thanks to Naruto and Jiraiya being there, they were able to level things up, as Naruto using the Harishin, as well as the KCM from Kurama, and also the Mangekyo Sharingan Susanoo was able to level things up. And he also used his Kekkai Genkai to boost himself hardening and strengthening his abilities, and even used the gates that he has copied from Might Guy, just so that he could have edge. But the Akatsuki were still stronger. Not to forget, the masked person was also stronger and revealed his true colors to be Madara Uchiha. As Naruto then copied the Rinnegan, and that is when a Rinnegan in his eye appeared. And even still then, they were not enough, because as the Akatsuki was about to be defeated, all of them combining their strength sacrificed their soul as one single coffin without Uchiha Ample Ambrose, indicating that their true leader has risen. It was none other than Madara Uchiha and his right-hand man, his will, Zetsu, as their goal was simple, and that was to conquer the elemental nation by trampling it under his feet and take the Bijus for themselves, to become the Itsuki and then bring forth the Moonlight Plan. Now, a total beatdown of Naruto began, as in front of Jiraiya, who was again beaten to a pulp by the Madara. Naruto was killed as he was stabbed, as Jiraiya was in tears of seeing his godson being killed by Madara. As Madara was maniacally laughing, we see that Naruto was in a mindscape of his own, in a different plane, where he met with a sage, who blessed him with the sun and the moon seal, and the power of the child of prophecy, which was basically the power of the next sage. Now, bursting up with the power of the sage, he arrived back and kicked the ass of Madara Uchiha to a bloody pulp, and even ended his Edo Tensei, as that is when he was beating down his will, which was Zetsu. Before Zetsu would be killed, we see that Zetsu began to laugh, as that is when Naruto stopped and said, "Why are you laughing? I have defeated you. That is what you think, brat. But mark my words, there are forces out there. Forces that are much more dangerous. You can't protect them all from us. From them. My true masters. To hell with these people. I don't care about them. All I care about is myself. Then why all this? Simple. I don't want the hassle of dealing with you later when I have built my life. Right now, I'm just about to start my free life, you see. And I wanted to clear all loose ends of my previous life. You know?" As with that, Naruto killed him off. As now we see Naruto and Jiraiya, after that, arrived back using the Harishin to Land of Waves, where they were scolded by Tsunade, but in the end Tsunade was happy that the Akatsuki were taken care of, and so was this Madara. Naruto now was saddled with an amazing power, but he could care less about it, because to him the all world could go to hell for all he cared, because he had learned a valuable lesson while he remained in the cesspool of hell known as Konoha, and that was he should only care about himself and no one else. But he has formed some bonds, as you could think of, and that was Jiraiya and Tsunade. So he could only say that these two were the only things that could came out good after he lost his first family, which were the Ichirakus. And he still goes there, where their unmarked graves were, that were dug by Naruto and buried there by Naruto himself. The graves of Ayame and Tenaichi Ichiraku, the only guys who showed him kindness while others showed him hate and detest. As now we see, Naruto, after paying his respects to them, then said, "Well, I guess it's time to start my life anew. Isn't it right, Kurama? What should I do?" "Whatever you wish, kid. You can go to, Uzushio to reside there, or you can travel the whole elemental nations. And let's not forget what Zetsu said. The beings, yeah, I don't care about them. They can come here and do all they want. But if they mess with someone, or with me, who I love and know, they will pay for that." "I guess you're right, kid. I guess you're right. But how about this? Why don't you go and gain some skills while you travel? That is the goal for the time being." "Good, then it is decided. Journey it is." As after that we see Naruto ride back at the Land of Waves and told what his wishes were, as both Jiraiya and Tsunade, knowing that Naruto was strong enough and was old enough, as he was at the age of 14 at the time, were given the blessings and permission to travel, and so began the journey of Naruto and his new life, leaving behind the path of hatred that he once followed. and now living the life that he always wanted, the life of freedom and life in which he and only he had control. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is it. Peace.